Well, I don't think I'm ever going to forget the Scenic Byway 12. This was a memorable journey, to say the least. Considering we have been trying to avoid mountains, well, needless to say, I maybe didn't do my homework as well, being the navigator. We ended up on this path. It was super pretty. It started off really well, and the roads were newly tarmacked. But we started climbing, and more twists and turns. And we actually, as we were heading off onto the Scenic Byway, so actually it started off from the Capitol Reef, and it goes all the way down to Bryce Canyon in Utah. And the reason we took the road originally, because when we were on the highway for heading towards Salt Lake, it was super busy, and I think it's like 85 miles an hour. I mean, so fast. And Jack always goes like 55 miles an hour, so he's super careful. And he's like, okay, let's get off of this and let's go where it's going to be quieter. And then coming from Capitol Reef, it's like, okay, this is a road that looks like it's going straight down. It's going to cut off a lot of the busyness, and let's take it. So we did. But as we were exploring, I mean, even if we had paid enough attention, there were even some cars that were flashing their lights as we were heading along, further along the journey. And now in hindsight, I think they were actually warning us, because there were some areas where a motorhome shouldn't have gone. So I would love to go back and do this again, but in a car and not in a 30-foot motorhome. But Jack kept his cool, and we just kept on going along. And yeah, there was amazing scenery. As far as I know, there was like the Boulder Mountain that we came across was like 9,800 feet altitude, so super high, and it was just really hard to relax and enjoy it, because you just didn't know what was happening, what was going to happen around every corner. And we stopped as frequently as we could. Fortunately, because it is a scenic byway, there are many pull-offs. Actually, we heard that it's second in the world for beauty, and it showed that. So there's many pull-offs. So we drank a lot of coffee. We rested quite a bit, not only just for our own nerves, mainly for Jack with him having to drive the path, but it's also time for the tires to cool down. Hey, I need you. Stay in one piece.
You only need me when you want.
Ditto. Hey, you're making me nervous. But there was one area of the Scenic Byway 12. It probably has a special name, but it wasn't really wide enough even for two cars. And fortunately, not many cars were passing. It's not something that it's frequented that often. But this one area, it was narrow. Yikes. 4 miles of this, right?
Why listen to my wife?
Because you love me.
I'm going to send her for a special course, topography, learn how to read maps. She's crazy.
Oh, honey, that's why we double check.
40?
That's why we double check.
40? No, this is
No way.
not good.
And we heard later on that school buses used to go up and over this, and they literally had to wait for the other oncoming traffic before they could go across. But either side of this road was a sheer drop. If there had been a strong wind, we would have been blown off of there. So we were definitely taking a few risks, to say the least, but the scenery was incredible. for those who have had the chance to see Grand Canyon, I would say this is like Grand Canyon on steroids. It was amazing. But again, it was just nerve-wracking. It was like, even now as I look back over, I have sweaty palms, already nibbling on the nails, but incredible views. And we just kept on going. You couldn't turn back. You just had to keep on going.
Heck. Wow.
How far are we from this place?
2.3 miles.
In 1 mile, the destination is on your right, Calf Creek Recreation Area.
Seriously? 3/4 of a mile. There were falls.
Recording?
Yeah. That's for this piece of junk. Wow.
For roads. A good race.
So there's a camp down there. So what's that road going to be like
You
going
mean to go
down?
down?
Yeah.
The destination is on your right, Calf Creek Recreation Area. Arrived.
to go there?
That's the plan. You want to go down? I think we got to. No turnaround for vehicles over 25 feet. No turnaround for vehicles over 25 feet.
Also,
Problem solved. There's a car coming up.
it's coming out.
Yeah. But they said that a 30-foot was down there.
I can hear a river, but I'm not going to wander down there by myself. I'm not that silly. So this has been quite a drive for a couple that's trying to avoid mountains. We haven't done very well, and we've just had the steepest decline ever to experience, 14%. We freaked out with the Teton Pass, which was 10%, and the concern is our brakes. So yeah, and there is a flash flood warning in this area. Can you hear that? Some thunder. We better go. Maybe the guy was beeping his horn saying, crazy people don't go up that way. Slower traffic U-turn outs. Wow. Kiva Coffee House. Okay, scenic overlook. As we carried on passing along the scenic byway, the storm is brewing up even more, and now it's kind of chasing us, and we just have to get off of that because it's not the place you want to stay in a thunderstorm. You don't want to be struck by lightning, that's for a fact. But we managed, I don't know how long, how many hours, it seemed like it took forever, but we actually experienced a 14% decline. We've never seen that. It was bad enough when we had the Teton Pass, and that was 10%, but 14. And there's parts when you can hear the engine working so hard, obviously trying to save the brakes, then going down the gears, but it was testing. And I'm glad we've done it. Probably again, we not really recommended it in a motorhome, but an amazing experience. And we then found that along the pathway our tires are now getting bald, that we had to do something about that once we got to the end, or halfway through the actual journey, before we actually went to a campground. So at one time we were looking at the campground as like a destination, and we're just literally just like hoping to get to this place and then we can actually breathe and stay the night, to find out that that campground was not suitable for a 30-foot, even though on the Campendium app it says that you can. But literally you're going down this steep decline, and then you have to take a sharp turning to the right, and that is a path down to the campground. Needless to say, it wasn't suitable for us, so we just kept on going.
The thing is, we don't know what's ahead of us, right? It's like, yes, it's a step, it's a drive of faith in faith.
But we were going along, and as you can see, the weather started to brew, and there was thunderstorm warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, flash floods, and you're in an area in Utah where there's a lot of like sandstone, so it can crumble really fast, and you can have roads blocked with falling stones. But we kept on going. I must admit, Jack really kept his cool, even though inside he was really stirring up with all the emotions, but he did a great job of getting us to the campground at the end of the day, which ended up being Escalante. And we will share more about that in the next video. Doodles!